Retail pharmacy is in the midst of major transformation, from the AI revolution to the industry's push for PBM reform. At the NACDS Annual Meeting, DSN sat down for exclusive interviews with executives from some of the nation's top retailers to get an insider view of their market strategy and to ask what's on their radar for 2025 and beyond. My guest today, Mike Wysong, CEO, CARE Pharmacies. So Mike Wysong, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you. Thank you
We
for
always
having me.
love chatting with you to get a perspective on what's happening in retail pharmacy. And I think a good place to start is the business model of CARE. Because in these times, you're an anachronism because you're locally owned by a pharmacist. Tell me, how does that work in terms of all of the issues that the industry is facing, and how do you meet those challenges?
So I think if you go back, and I should probably say CARE will celebrate its 65th anniversary this year.
Oh, congratulations.
So we're happy about that and excited about that. And I think you have to go back and pay homage to the folks that put it together 65 years ago. I think there was an acknowledgement that coming together and working in good faith in the service of something bigger than the individual entities is really the spirit of CARE Pharmacies.
Right.
So when I took over as the CEO in 2010, I brought with me kind of a refinement of that operating model and thought that when you looked at the intimacy of care that resided within an organization like CARE Pharmacies with expertise, particularly in the HIV arena, if we brought the benefits of chain pharmacy, the continuity of that care in the eyes of the service of not just the customers that we would be serving, but also in our manufacturer and vendor partnerships, that would give us an advantage because we would have the strength of both a chain and a community pharmacy group.
And I've heard you say this before, but that high touch one-on-one is important within retail pharmacy, right?
I think so. I mean, I think, you know the stats of people trusting their pharmacists and the pharmacy. I think innately, especially in high-touch care providing and specialty pharmacy, I think there's an intimacy of care that resides there. I think for independent pharmacy, as you mentioned before, all the stores are independently owned and operated. There is a pride that comes with that ownership. Most of the patients know the owners. And so I think there's something special within the pharmacies around that piece of it. So, yeah, and I think it's a natural fit for us. I think we're practicing in areas of expertise, and I think our customers and our patients appreciate that.
Yeah. So let's stick with that for a little bit, because we often hear that the future might be in specialty. How do you see it with all of the challenges that some of the bigger ones are facing? How does specialty navigate its way through some of the problems?
Well, I'm not sure that specialty pharmacy is the future, because I think the future is today. Over the course of my time and tenure at CARE, specialty pharmacy really took off, going all the way back to 2015 when the hepatitis C drugs came to the market. I think you're going to continue to see, I think, the growth rates in that particular area of expertise moving forward that you've seen, over the last couple of years. So I think the real challenges, or at least the real opportunities and changes, is really going to be on the automation and the technology side that I think will allow us to take the expertise that we have and just do it and deliver it faster and more efficiently than it's being delivered today.
Okay. Final question. So we hear a lot about aging in place and people wanting to retire in their homes instead of going to, let's say, a facility or something. What is the role of a community pharmacy when someone decides to age in place in their own home?
So it's very interesting. I always say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We talked about this high growth rate on specialty pharmacy and this high touch disease state care. It's interesting to me that the at-home component of that, to me, is actually the next phase of high touch care providing. I just think that most people don't look low enough to understand that. We're working with AARP today on potential areas of service out for folks that are at home and receiving their care at home. And I think that's going to be the next frontier for specialty pharmacy, because there's clearly a growing need there.
All right, Mike, happy anniversary.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.